From a father's vision to a son's ambition, IAS officer Akshay Sunil Agrawal's story is not just about cracking the UPSC exam, it's about a homecoming fueled by a generation of hopes. Hello, I'm Muskan Khandelwal, and you are watching Indian Masterminds. Join us as we delve into the making of an IAS officer, exploring his journey from the narrow lanes of Sherpur to the global stage of Singapore, and finally back to the roots, where he now serves as the ADM Mayurbhanj, Orissa. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So, your father's vision for you becoming an IAS officer played a significant role in your journey. So, can you please elaborate on how his legacy influenced your early career decisions and sustained your motivation through your rigorous preparation?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you, Muskan, for having me on Indian Masterminds. And as you asked me that how my father's vision led me to pursue UPSC and ultimately become an IAS officer.
Right.
So let me tell you that I come from a business family. My father is a businessman, and however, right from my childhood, he's always been interested for his son to get into IAS and become a collector. The reason was that maybe as a businessman he saw what prestige and importance officers, civil servants hold in the Indian society and also in our entire system. So he also wanted me to pursue that career in my life. And since I was good at studies right from my childhood, so he also believed in me that maybe you can do it. And so that was it. However, that was a very early seeds that were sown into my mind. Later on I went to do my engineering, and then I also went to National University of Singapore to pursue my higher studies there in economics.
Yes.
And it was at that time that my father again reminded me of what he wanted me to do, and that was the time when I thought that okay, I should give it a try, and that is how I got for it.
That's really great, sir. So you cleared the exam with the AIR 43, which is very impressive, and that too in your very first attempt. So can you take us through your unique preparation strategy, particularly your emphasis on understanding the exam's intricacies and crafting your own book list?
Yeah, sure. So, I believe that UPSC exam is also an exam, and there's a way to crack any exam. So let it be CAT exam, GATE exam, UPSC exam, any exam for that matter. So there is always some strategy that that one needs to adapt to crack any exam. So similarly for UPSC also, in my mind, I always thought there were 2-3 things in my mind when I was preparing for UPSC. First was that I wanted to understand the exam first. What does this exam ask you? So for that, the very first thing I did was I obviously went through the syllabus. I just did not go through the syllabus. In fact, I by hearted the syllabus. So every point in the syllabus should be very much ingrained into your mind, and you should, whenever you read something, you should be able to relate it to the syllabus.
Right.
So once that is done, then obviously you have to look at the previous question papers also, as to what kind of questions are asked out of those syllabus. So I went through a lot of previous year's question papers, both for my optional and also the general studies for prelims as well as mains. And in fact, for prelims, I went to see questions even from the 1995. I went back till 1995. So a lot of compilations come in the market, and I bought one of those compilations, and I saw what kind of questions appear. So when one looks at such question papers and previous questions, you understand what exactly UPSC asks you. And over a period of time, obviously it evolves, it changes also, and you have to understand how it is changing, how is the demand of the exam changing. And with that, you have to then strategize as to what is important, what is not important. And there are a lot of YouTube videos that are available. When I used to study, a lot of toppers had made their YouTube videos and have written blogs in which they mention the book list. So I went through blogs and YouTube videos of a few toppers, like Gaurav Agarwal sir, Atina Dabi madam, Artika Shukla madam. So I went through them, and I made them as my inspiration. And that is how I made my own book list. And I thought that in order to cover this point from the syllabus, I'll read this much, and this is how I'll do it. So that was it. So very good understanding of the exam and what does it ask you is very important, and that is the first step, I guess, to write this exam.
So like अभी interviews चल रहे हैं, aspirants interview देने जा रहे हैं, तो if you could also give some preparation strategies for interview round.
Yeah, sure. So as we know that UPSC has 3 stages: prelims, mains, and interview. Every stage needs its own preparation. And interview, I believe, in terms of preparation, it might be the simplest round. However, it has a very it has a very crucial role to play when it comes to results, because interview has 275 marks. And the range of marks in interview can range from 100 to 200 plus. So in order to score well in the interview, we have to prepare well. The studies is not as hard as it is for prelims and mains, but for interview we need to keep two to three things in mind. So first thing is that before you go for the interview, all of the aspirants, they submit a detailed application form, which is known as DAF. So in that DAF, you write about your hobbies, your interests, your education, your work experience, about your family, your mother, your father, your village, right? Your hometown, your district, your state, everything. So that DAF is basically a kind of, a resume. It's your resume in front of the panel. And whatever you have written in that, they'll ask questions from you. So first of all, you should all of the aspirants going to interview this year must have filled the DAF. They know about it. And so my first suggestion would be that you should prepare whatever you have written in your DAF very well. So for example, if you have written that you are interested in cricket, so you should know about cricket, right? You should it's not just you mention cricket and you don't know anything about it. So whatever you're writing, you should prepare well on that. You should anticipate what kind of questions can come. And a lot of mock interviews happen, which will help you. Then second point about this interview stage is that you should be very much abreast of the current affairs that are happening. And especially, so what happens is, like, where during prelims and mains, we happen to read just one newspaper or maximum two. But I suggest, and from my own experience, I can tell you that for interview stage, please read 3 to 4 newspapers daily and try to cover as much as possible. And for interview, for prelims and mains, sometimes we also miss on the masala news, like something is happening and then we think that it is not related to syllabus and we might skip it. But for interview, it's better that you read them. And especially the news articles, the newspapers, just 1 week before your interview, because the interview panel members might have also read the newspaper, and then something comes to their mind and they'll ask you a question about it. So it's better than 1 week before your interview, you read as many newspapers as possible. Also the regional news. So sometimes what happens is, during the preparation, we ignore the regional news. Like, for example, if you're from Tamil Nadu, you will not read news about Tamil Nadu because you think that it is not relevant for the exam. But during the interview, if it is mentioned that obviously it is mentioned in your DAB that you are from Tamil Nadu. So if anything is happening in Tamil Nadu, some local news, some local issue, then they might ask you a question on that also, to just to see that how much you are aware of your surroundings. So newspaper reading and being very much abreast of the current affairs is very important. And third part obviously is your optional subject. So whatever is your optional subject, you can expect questions from your optional subject also in the interview. For example, if you have mentioned that your optional subject is economics, so you must expect questions from economics, right? From what is happening, maybe not the technical questions, but something related to current affairs again. Right. So these are the 3 things that you need to keep in mind. Try to practice for interview. Okay, try to go for 4 or 5 mock interviews before your actual interview if you have time. And most of the mock interviews are free, so you can you can just go and take them.
Right. So you mentioned that you used to, during your preparation days, you used to watch videos of toppers like Tina Dabi, Gaurav Agrawal on YouTube. So you yourself run a YouTube channel. And so if you could please tell what motivated you to create this invaluable resource, and how do you feel about being a guiding light for countless UPSC aspirants?
Yeah. So as I told you, that when I was preparing, I used to follow a lot of toppers on YouTube, and not just for seeing what they suggest for book list and other resources, but I also had watched a lot of YouTube videos as part of my studies. So, for example, if I did not understand anything related to, say, geography, any concept, say, how tsunami occur. So if I don't understand this concept, I would immediately go, I will Google, or in the YouTube, I would just search, about tsunami, and, a good video would just pop up and I would watch it.
Right.
So YouTube as a learning source, we should capitalize on that. And I did that a lot. In fact, so when I was preparing, I found a lot of good videos on geography and environmental science, EVS, and also history and art and culture. However, I found that there are very few or very less updated videos when it came to economics. And even if there were, they were not teaching the concepts in simple language. So I thought that and being a economics student myself, I am very much interested in the subject of economics, and my optional was also economics.
Right.
So I just thought that maybe I can fill this gap, whatever is there on the YouTube. So I prepared my own YouTube videos on economics. I covered the syllabus of prelims. I have covered the entire static portion of prelims, and yeah. So I thought that maybe I can contribute to others, journeys also in this way.
Right.
Yeah.
So currently you are posted as ADM Mayurbhanj, and before that you were posted at Nabrangpur in Orissa. So what are some of the key challenges you foresee, and how do you plan to tackle them?
Yeah. So you mean the challenges in administration,
Yes,
or working as an officer?
both.
Both. Okay. So see, first of all, I want to tell everyone out there that if you are preparing for being an IAS or IPS officer, or any civil service, just go for it, because I can tell you that it is one of the best jobs in the world. So don't think twice before jumping into this ocean of UPSC. You can just and if if you are lucky enough, you'll definitely get through it. So the first thing is that definitely this is a very, very good job, and I'm really enjoying it. However, there are challenges which you have to face from both personal and professional points of view. So what happens is, if you become an IAS or IPS officer, so initially your post, and first of all, there's a cadre system. So I am from Maharashtra, but I got Odisha cadre. So not everybody gets to work in their home cadres. So you have to go to any state that is given to you. So first of all, you have to go to a new place, and 2/3 of the people, they don't get their home state. Only 1/3 of them get. So 67% of people have to work outside their home states. So you have to go and adopt to a new culture, new language, new food, those things. So initially, in a initial few years, maybe 2-3 years, that remains a challenge. Maybe you are not able to adapt to the local weather and language and food and etc. So that is on the personal front. Also, your as an officer, obviously you cannot socialize a lot, and you are new in the town, and your postings get change. Your postings change every 2-3 years. So you are not settled in one place. So in that way also, it becomes a personal challenge. You have to move from one place to the other. If you have kids, then their education might take a toll because of that. And you're not able to socialize a lot. You're not able to go to restaurants and malls and all those things, because your posting is in a small town. So those are some of the issues. Professionally, I would say that when you're working in the system, there are a lot of stakeholders. And so you have to balance. Okay. So you cannot go to any extreme when you're working as an IAS officer. So when we prepare, we think that we'll change the system. I'll weed out this bad thing from the system. So believe me, you're too small in the system. And if at all you want to bring any change, try to bring about positive changes. Try to contribute. So if you are given an opportunity like this to serve as an IAS officer in various different capacities, try to solve the problems of the people, of the local people, of the vulnerable sections of the society. And you definitely have a lot of things to do. Okay. And in our Hindu culture, we believe in pap and punya. So punya is something that you incur when you do something good for others, right? And a lot of people, they do the punya karm out of the goodness of their heart, and they, because they want to earn punya. In IAS, I would say that you earn punya every single day, because if you want to, because you are working for poor people, Adivasis, scheduled caste people, Dalits, and women, children. You work for them every day. You can give justice to a lot of people, social justice, economic justice. And you know what, and you get paid for it. Okay, the government pays you salary to earn punya. So it's a beautiful job in which you can do all these things. Obviously, so the challenge that I was talking about was that you cannot go to any extremes in administration. You have to just ensure that you are performing your duty, whatever is given to you. You are working for the people, and rest you have to just leave for the system. So I think that one challenge we need to understand, and we need to work on it.
Right. So, at last, what advice would you like to offer to the aspiring civil servants, especially those coming from small towns or unconventional backgrounds?
Yeah. So, as I told earlier also, that if you are thinking about getting into civil services, you should definitely try for it. And with good planning, good preparation, anybody can become a civil servant. Anybody can become an IAS officer. So you don't have to be an IITian, or somebody from good universities, or hi-fi colleges. You don't have to be that. Any person from from with any degree can become an IAS officer. Because see, the thing is, the UPSC exam doesn't ask rocket science. It asks you simple things about our own society, our own culture, our own history, our own geography. So you just need to understand those simple things, but you have to connect the dots. You have to have a lot of things in mind at the same time. So if you have patience, and if you have that kind of caliber, to have a lot of things in your mind at the same time, this exam is for you. So with hard work, I have seen a lot of people from very humble backgrounds have also become IAS officers, and they are doing extremely well in the service. So it's not necessary that you have to be from very rich background or anything from big cities like Delhi or Pune or Mumbai, Chennai. No, I would say that a lot of candidates who get selected are from small towns. In fact, I myself is from a small town. So my hometown is not even a district place. Okay, it is just a tehsil place. So so I think if I can become, then you can also become. That is my message to everybody.
That's great, sir. So, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Thank you so much for giving your strategies and tips for the aspirants who are preparing for CSC, and all the very best to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.